No, and you guys weren't knocking down shots on Monday. Jeff said no one allowed anyone to put their heads down. What was the vibe? Who was kind of leading the charge, or was it kind of just everybody keeping each other in check?
Yeah, I think it was more everybody keeping everybody in check. We're a together unit, and we understand that shots aren't always going to fall. You know, Steph Curry don't make every shot, so if he's not making every shot, we're not going to make every shot. So we kind of understand that. We just allow ourselves to make mistakes and be human and all be around each other and support each other. I think that's going to allow us to take the next step as far as making shots and all the good stuff that comes with it.
Now, being a local guy, what do you know about the West Virginia rivalry?
I mean, honestly, I've been away for a little bit, so I haven't had a chance to feel it. But being at that football game, I felt that energy, so I remember just how crazy that game can get. So I'm really excited for all the energy and the atmosphere it's going to be.
Is that a good thing for a young team early in the season to face that kind of, not adversity, but that kind of intense pressure?
For sure. I think for any team, especially us, but you know, having those early battles are going to prepare you for the late wars as well. So I think it's important to go out there and really test out who we are and be able to put it all out there.
Jeff just told us he was down in the he went down to the locker room once and saw y'all watching West Virginia versus their last opponent. What were some of the who found that game and was watching it, and two, what were some of the biggest things that y'all took away from watching it?
We took away a lot of things from watching them. You know, they're a good team, they're an aggressive team, but we just wanted to take away all the things that we can benefit from, which I'm not going to put out there, but like there's a lot of things that we can find that we're going to have to use to our advantage, you know what I'm saying? So as far as who found the game, I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know I was locked in watching it though.
Nelly, you had 7 assists on Monday. Coach said after the game that you had a good floor game. That's the phrase he used. What do you think he meant by that, and what do you think a good floor game constitutes?
I think just being able to be in control of the game, one, being able to, you know, facilitate, get guys opportunities, and really just be that presence that everybody feels comfortable with having the ball and making decisions with the ball in their hands.
Nelly, yeah, you had the good floor game that he talked about, but you didn't shoot particularly well. It was just 2 of 11, I'm pretty sure. Does passing the ball and facilitating come naturally when you're not scoring, or do you need to really make an emphasis and make a concerted effort to do that?
No, I'm a point guard, so you know my job is to make sure we are at our best, playing our best. So whatever that takes, that's what I'm going to do. If that means I got to come out and score points, that's what I'll do. If that means facility, that's what I'll do. Like you said, I missed shots, so I'm not going to allow anything basketball-wise can't affect what I'm going to do on the court. Like my presence has to be the same. I got to still lead. I still got to be facilitating. I still got to be present with my team. So can't let anything like that bother me ever.
Yeah. Nelly, you mentioned how you guys struggled early in the game, but you stayed together and pulled for each other. You guys have come from all over the place. How is it you built this bond so quickly?
I think that's the struggle that a lot of teams now are facing. You know, being able to put teams together in a couple weeks and then having to come together and try to make it a unit. But I think that was an emphasis with us from the beginning. Since we've been here together, we just wanted to create that tight bond. It wasn't even about basketball as much as like, if we don't really like each other, we're not going to make the effort to do the thing. So we have to actually like care about each other and actually like each other. So we made the emphasis early to do that, and I think it's going to continue to show on the court.
Nelly, I know that basically you guys were here last year when these two teams played, but last year there was a lot of turnovers when Pitt played West Virginia and they lost. Jeff talked about he didn't like some of the turnovers that y'all had, especially the first half of Monday. What are some of the things that you guys have said, hey, we got to clean this up so we can protect the ball?
I think just that. Like, we know that we have to clean it up. We can't just make careless mistakes. Like, we have to be an alert team who doesn't beat ourselves. So, and every chance we get to prove that, we got to go out there and not beat ourselves.
I noticed sometimes there were some ball screens where from the other team when you guys were playing, where you guys were definitely like attentive, but there might have been like some hesitation as far as who runs with who after the fact. Was that something that you guys talked about after the game?
For sure, that's something we touched on. Definitely just communication. Like, we have to understand that, like, who's gonna do what, and that comes with being a group that just linked up not too long ago. So we're gonna keep working those kinks out and get better every single day.
You mentioned how you're the point guard of this team. You know, what responsibility comes with that title, being the point guard, being the starting point guard of this team?
Yeah, I think it comes with leadership, one. Really just everything. Like, I got to be that floor general, that guy that everybody can look to. I got to know everybody's position. I have to know where everybody should be on the court. Obviously, I got to know my job, but, like, it's important for me to be able to be that guy that everybody can look to and say, Nelly, what are we in? Like, what are we doing? I got to be able to be that guy to say, this is what we're doing, this is where you're at, this is where he's at, this is where I'm at, this is where the ball, you know what I mean? So doing a little bit of everything.
Offensively, when you're running the pick and roll from the point, let's say Federico comes up, sets a screen for you, what's going through your mind when he's rolling to the basket? You have different options on the wing. You could hit him cutting, or you could pull up and shoot.
Yeah, I think every ball screen I use, I pretty much just make reads off it. So if I come off a screen and Federico dives hard, where's the help going to come? Because if you don't help, I'll throw a lob, then he's going to dunk it. So if the help comes, where'd the help come from? That's where I should be looking at. If that guy's covered, then where'd he come from? So I'm making all those decisions in split time, but I've done this since I was like 5 years old. So at this point, like, it's just decisions. It's just basketball. So I come off the screen making my decisions.
What's it like having Demarius on the court where, you know, you get 7 assists and he gets 7 assists? It's like there's another presence where, you know, even when you don't have the ball, there's someone that can help with the facilitation of what you guys are trying to run.
Exactly. I think having Demarius on the court with me is just perfect. Like, I look to my left and my right, and I know that guy has the ball, so we're going to be good too. So that's a comforting feeling to have someone who, like you said, I can have 7 assists and have a great floor game, and look to my left, and so does he. So he's going to step up to the challenge every time. I'm grateful to be playing with him.
Like, what were the emotions like of being on this floor for the first time for a regular season game?
It was fun. It was very exciting. I mean, just all of it. It's hard to describe in any real words, but like, man, it was fun. Like, everybody, I think there was guys like Blake who haven't played in 2 years who had so much good energy. Like, Nike had been out for so long. Like, I have never played here. Greg never played here. Like, we had so many different stories all in one. It was just so fun to see everybody's story work out. Us to get the win, and we could take that excitement on to Friday.
West Virginia is a team with a lot of size, not only up front, but also on the guard line. Evan Matthews, 6'7" guard, Eric Stevenson. As someone who's usually one of the smaller guys on the court, do you change your style when going up against bigger teams compared to a team like UT Martin that's sort of regular size?
I mean, as far as my style, I wouldn't say I switched my style up. I think I'm going to make those guys adjust to me, but I understand what I'm playing against. I'm not going to come there and think I'm just going to lay the ball up the same way I could against a six foot guy. If he's 6'10", I'm going to see that, oh, that's not the read anymore. The read is the pass. So I think I'm just going to make the basketball decision is there. I'm trying to make the right play every single time. So as far as changing my game up, I'm going to be the same me, but I understand who I'm playing against. I understand the scouting report and things like that. So
There were quite a few instances where Federico would set an on-ball screen on you and him just rolling to the basket, you finding him. I mean, the athleticism of these bigs that you guys have. Tell us about what those guys were able to do working outside to in.
I think those guys are super athletic, one. So when they put pressure on the rim, the whole defense must respect them. And when you have guys like me and Jamarius who can make the read, make the play, I think they're going to get open a lot. And we got a lot of guys who can make those reads. And the whole team is just full of guys who understand how to play the game. So they put pressure on the rim every single time with their athleticism, and you're going to get rewarded for that.
Making those reads, is that something that comes kind of naturally, or do you have to learn to look for that sort of thing?
I think it's a little bit of both. It comes naturally to me, but I've learned it. It's been learned over a long time period. So I think you have to be taught the reads because there's different reads for almost every situation. But once you make those reads, like, I'm not consciously thinking of it like that. I'm letting my instincts take over when I play.
Do you have to learn tendencies of their forward that's on the other side of that too?
For sure. I think that's a part of like that bonding we was talking about earlier. Like, we took the time early in the season to like talk about it. Like, what do you like? Like, I don't want to just play a guessing game. Like, I'm grown. Like, what do you like? I'm going to tell you what I like. Set the screen this angle. You roll this angle. We're going to make it work.
All right. Thanks, guys.